Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another figure unboxing video. You already know we are hard on that Dokkan Battle 6th anniversary train. The next figure that we have up today is the TEQ Spirit Sword Trunks. Obviously, this is the fully transformed one with the Spirit Sword and the Rage form. Oh, I am really glad that this guy actually got a figure, because not only is this obviously a really cool pose, but funny enough, there is only like 1 or 2 Trunks figures that have the Spirit Sword, and they're really expensive now because they've kind of gotten a little bit rare over time. I think people maybe just didn't pick them up originally. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but I'm very glad that we have him here today. And again, just like God Goku, they decided to include the actual instructions on the box, which is awesome, because then obviously they are not wasting any extra paper. And I mean, like, bro, I don't need to see the figure the same angle. Like, you know, I'm gonna own the figure, right? Like, you can show me it here, and you're good to like put half of it as the instructions. Good job, Bandai. Thank you for helping us save the planet. I appreciate it, bro. This guy is pretty cool, though. He is definitely a figure that I was actually pretty excited that he ended up being one of the selection for the Kuji. I will say, it is still kind of weird to me, the units that they chose for this particular set. Never cut close to yourself. Well, yes, that is true, but never cut towards yourself. That is a terrible mistake to make. I would have just got my whittling chip taken away. Boy Scout gang, rise up. Let's go ahead and crack that. I actually always forget that there's side take there. Shaboom. And shaboom. Now, I will say, there is one problem that I have with this figure before we actually get out of the box. And keep in mind, when it comes to me and figures, I know that sometimes I get some comments like, oh, the figure's great, you know, and then I criticize it a little bit. It's just because, A, I want the figures to be as good as they can be. B, Bandai kind of deserves the criticism because of all their shenanigans with their quality control. You already know. And, of course, you know, I want you to have the most educated choice when you are deciding if you want to pick this guy up or not. And I'm also just very critical of figures because, well, I mean, I enjoy it. I think I have sort of built a repertoire for myself that, you know, I would like to think I know what I'm talking about after, what, like 120, 110, something like that, plus reviews. If it's not at that by now, it's gonna be at some point. All right. Oh my gosh, this guy's huge. Wow. Okay, actually, there's something that I'm already kind of impressed with, so that's good to see right off the bat. Holy cow! Does this guy really have that small of a stand? Let's pop on the old ring light here. Readjust a little bit. Sorry about that. My camera cut out. In God Goku's, this was filled completely with bubble wrap so that none of this could get damaged, and I guess they just decided, bro. We don't care. What happened? What do you mean, bro? There was bubble wrap over all of these pieces in the God Goku one when he had all of his effects. I don't understand. Oh my gosh, that sword is going to be huge once you actually get it. Okay. That's alright, though. Everything looks fine, and I think the difference is as well, all of these pieces for Trunks look flat, so I guess it's a little bit more excusable that he, you know, ends up not really having that much bubble wrap. Because, of course, you know, you can kind of just have it flat in there and then have it be fine. But these figures, another thing I really appreciate about this Dokkan Battle line, I know I've been kind of just talking about it here and there during all of these videos, is that they're very unique, right? Like, Bandai doesn't really do stuff with effects super often, and whenever it happens, I always really, really appreciate it, because, of course, you know, it allows for a more unique figure than the 90th Goku. And like, even with the Super Saiyan God Goku figure that we got, by the way, holy cow, this thing is giant. It's still really unique because obviously it has all of the effect parts on it, and Super Saiyan God is a really under commercialized form, which is so crazy to me considering, like, you know, even though it wasn't the direct cause, it sort of helped bring back the Dragon Ball Renaissance. Does he really stand with just that? No. Okay, there is a stand. I was gonna say, ain't no way, bro. Here's the little stand, though, right here. Let's go ahead and crack that. out of the bag. Nice. All right. So, wow, this guy just needs a stand. Like, I don't even think this connects to the figure in any way. This is literally just, like, a plastic stand that he needs to stand. That's... Huh. Huh. Okay. I already don't really know how I feel about that, if I'm being honest with you. That's how they decided to do it? It doesn't even, like... I mean, it does form, like, it's sculpted, right? So then that way, it actually, you know, is like the sculpt of the leg is the sculpt of the stand here, and it kind of like goes down a little bit, so it's supposed to, you know, like sit in there properly. Like, this doesn't feel correct. I think I just flipped it over twice. Whoops. But like, once you have it on there, you know, it feels correct in the way of like, you know, the sculpt matches up with the stand there. But that's really how they decided to do it? Was that really the best that they could come up with? That feels like not the best that they could come up with. Really? That's kind of disappointing. It's also hard to tell, like, where I should be putting it here. Like, if I should be putting it under the boot, or if I should be putting it, like, under the pant leg. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kind of weird if I do say so myself, but alright, let's go ahead and get on with the rest of the figure. I guess we'll just chuck this to the side now. I guess we're gonna put it under the little lip there. Wow, okay, this is very weird. I don't know how I feel about this one so far. I'll talk about the sculpt in a second. We do have this beautiful blue hunk of plastic here, which of course is the spirit sword. This shouldn't be too hard to figure out, but I guess let's just take a look at the box for the instructions. It does have everything that's included there, and it literally just tells you to stab that in there. Yeah, like, look at that, bro. The instructions literally just say put it on there. Oh, okay, well, they do tell you that the way that this is supposed to go is like this. This is the direction that it should go on the figure, so I'm glad that I had that. But I don't know if it goes on the knee or if it goes on the boot. Like, it feels a lot more... Funny enough, it almost just fell over. It feels a lot more stable on the, like, the boot edge than it does on the edge of the... Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really like that, I'm gonna be honest. Alright, well, let's just keep him there for now. Let's go ahead and plug in the sword, though. Is this literally just a circle? Yeah, it is literally just a circle. Oh, no, there is a... I think there's some sculpting on the inside. Don't know if you can really see that, but I guess that's... Oh, my gosh, that is going to annoy me to no end. Okay. Let's just go ahead, then, and plug it in, I guess. It literally... Does it just go on like that? I don't want to... drop it. Which way is it supposed to go? And it... Yeah, no, I guess there's no, like, right way to put it in there because it literally spins like that. So that means that there's no, like, peg. What is the front of the bot? Well, I mean, there's a peg, but there's no, like, perforation. Has it like this? Okay, so I guess this is correct. Like that, yeah? Okay, alright. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this one, bro. I'm gonna be honest, that's not the instructions. Okay, so big piece goes on his back, and the two little ones go on his legs. That shouldn't be too hard to figure out, I think. So, where is the peg? Oh, wait, I didn't even notice there's plastic on this. Wait, does this come off? Wait, how are you supposed to... It feels loose. How are you supposed to get that plastic off? Does it... What? Ew, I don't like the feeling of that. I don't want to rip it off. Okay. Oh, ew. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Okay. Don't do that ever again, Bandai, please. Okay. Big piece. Big piece goes... Is it really right there? That's the peg? Are you kidding me, Bandai? Okay. Let me go ahead and see if I can't slide it in there. I guess that's why the sword is so loose. Let me do this off camera. Pro tip, be very careful with that. The peg is super small. It does fit in there nice and tight, but now it is literally supported by that peg, and that's it. Obviously, it kind of has the support of the sword that it's resting on, or the sword, like, holder, rather, but, like, just be careful. It looks good, obviously. It looks really cool, but, like, one peg to support it? It's because it's so big is why that kind of makes me a little bit worried. Alright. Peg number 2. Peg number 2 is right here. And it literally, oh my gosh, I hate that so much because I feel like I'm gonna break it. I have basically hurt my hands trying to get this in there. Let me see if I can get a better angle. Having the sword on there right away maybe wasn't the best idea, but you can see the peg does not fit that well, and this is the way that it's supposed to go because I'm double checking the instructions, and that is the way that it's supposed to be. Like, I'm pushing this in as hard as I can to get that peg to disappear, and it's like slowly sliding out. That's a little bit better, actually. Well, maybe it just took a little bit of elbow grease, but it is literally supported by that single peg, so just be careful, please. Alright, and then the bottom one is right there. We have this little doodad right here, and it goes up. So I think I can probably do this one on camera. This is really hard to do as well. Like, oh, okay, so I also like that a little bit better because obviously since it's angled, it's going to be a little bit more support for the figure and a little bit easier to slide it in. Okay, that one is really easy. I hope that got on camera and it wasn't blurry. I apologize if it was, but it's really hard to do it in the lens. There we go. That looks a lot better. All right. Here is the full thing set up. Let's get the box out of the way. That was so painful. My hands literally hurt. Like, from the... Oh, ow! I did that right on my finger joint, too. Maybe that wasn't the smartest idea. Alright, so now that he's standing like this, let's go ahead and chuck the stand under him. I do think because it's now a little bit lifted on the bottom there, on his bottom support, I think it does go on the knee? Because then that's a little bit more flush with the ground. Well, let's put it on his... Yeah, because... I feel like it's a little bit more wobbly when it's under his foot, right? Rather than when it's under his knee. But then you're kind of caught on that little piece of fabric right there. Alright, well, I guess that's it. I guess I'm going to keep it displayed like this for the time being. Here he is, fully built though. I do have to say, once it is put together, it looks really, really awesome. Obviously, the sword is huge. Look at that, like, compared to my hand. There's, like, my index finger, right, like, resting against it. That is awesome. I really, really like that this thing is so big. I don't know how practical this is going to be to display, to be honest. I'm sorry that I can't even give you, like, a good rotation with this, just spinning it. It's just because, like, since the display, like, the way that you do it is just so stupid. It's hard for me to, like, give you a proper, like, spin on this without being extremely careful. I do like this thing a lot, though. Obviously, the sculpt on the effects is great, even though they aren't painted in a way where there's a little bit of changing colors like there is with God Goku. I think it works for Trunks because obviously this is based on the card art, and of course, you know, it's just yellow for, like, the key explosion. The rest of the sculpt, though, does look pretty good. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit. I do like the way that his scarf or his handkerchief, whatever that's supposed to be, is sculpted. I like the Capsule Corp logo on there. It is a little bit rough. Oh, it's actually sculpted on there? Oh, I thought that was just going to be a sticker. Well, okay, that's awesome. And I excuse the little bit of paint there, because if it's sculpted, that's always a better thing. That's awesome. That also looks a little bit weird with the way that that's connected. That doesn't look natural at all. Whoa, see? That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't like the way that that's displayed. The scabbard looks good, though. I do like the way that it looks. One thing that I can give Bandai about this one is it's not that bent. It's, like, bent a tiny bit, maybe. But most Trunks figures, the holder for the sword is, like... So this is definitely an improvement to that. I do like the rips in the clothing as well. The only complaint that I have with these, though, is it kind of has the same effect as what I always say, where it looks like they sculpted the figure without the like skin piece where pants are ripped and then they shove the skin in there. This has the opposite thing going on, where it looks like they made the hole and then they just glued on the actual like rip there. It almost doesn't look like natural. It looks like too, I don't know, fake, I guess, is a weird way to describe it. His knee kind of, I don't know how to, yeah, it kind of looks like they just glued it on and then painted the skin over, because there's a little bit of overspray onto the leg. The boots are sculpted very nice, though. Definitely some nice looking Trunks boots. This little explosion effect here, too, is also sculpted fantastic. Again, it is nice to see that all of the same care went into the bases for all of these figures. Clearly, except for Trunks' actual base, this stupid thing. Who thought that was a good idea? Who at Bandai thought that was okay? The sword looks good, though. Like I said, it looks very good in his hand. I think the only thing that I really have to, like, you know, criticize about this figure, besides obviously the really dumb way that you hold him up, is that his eyes are too small, and I would have liked the hair to have been spiked up a little bit more. Like, I like the way that the hair looks. Funny enough, it's almost the most like dark yellow that I've ever seen for a Super Saiyan figure. I've seen a little bit more mustardy color, I guess, but it is really, really dark yellow. It kind of doesn't look like it on camera, but in person, it's a lot more mustardy. As well, I think that the face sculpt actually looks really good. I don't really see anything wrong with it in particular, but I think the thing that makes it a little bit off-putting is his eyes are just too tiny. To be fair, if you are an artist, you could definitely go in there and add a little bit of green paint to make those eyes a little bit bigger, but I honestly think that if they were to just like make the eyes a little bit bigger on the figure, then it wouldn't look off. To be fair, maybe it's just supposed to be like Trunks is focused in on combat, you know what I mean? But overall, I really, really like this thing. I think it's really cool, despite the really, really dumb display. Let's go ahead and get some size comparisons going for him now. Alrighty, our size comparisons, of course. Let's grab our standards, the WCF Goku and the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, the Ichiban Kuji one. Wow, this guy is huge compared to these guys. I think not just in size is this Trunks so much bigger, but like in how wide he is because of the sword and because of the effect pieces. He is a huge piece that just encompasses a lot of area. Wow, even Goku is like basically the size of his stand. That's wild. Let's see how big this guy ends up standing at. We have him at about, I think to the top of that effect piece, it is probably almost, let me lift this up for you. This is going to be a little bit of a more difficult one. Probably like, it's hard to see, but there's that effect piece right there, right? Maybe like 9.5 to the very tip of that top effect piece. Basically in between 9 inches. It's really hard to get with this guy, and I'm sorry I'm being really squeamish, but like I'm very scared of this thing. I need to either get somebody to like make a new stand for me or glue this to the figure, because this is making me terrified. Also, another thing that I noticed that is very unfortunate to see that I actually didn't notice before is that there is a little bit of gapping in the jacket. Thankfully, that does look like a little bit more just like the clothing and the way that it is, but still not good. Yeah, those eyes, man. Really, just make them bigger, and then I think it's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and get our figures that we're going to compare to this guy. I am so scared that I'm going to knock this thing over. I am horrified right now. Let me just finish this review so I can take it down. Oh my gosh. I might have to put this guy back in the box, I'm not going to lie. Alright, Gogeta Blue, please get in frame. Gogeta, like, make it quick, bro. Make quick work of Trunks like you did quick work of Broly, bro. Thank you, I appreciate it. Here are the two figures next to each other. These guys look really, really good. I think that this Trunks figure right here, especially, wow, and actually the pose that I have him in right now looks fantastic. Just proves to me that even though there are some problems with this figure, and I think God Goku was, I also wanted to say this in that video, proves that Bandai just can make some good stuff. It's always a shame to see the errors and blemishes on their figures when figures like this prove that they can make some fantastic sculpts, some fantastic effects, and really pop off with Dragon Ball figures, and then they decide to do some lamer stuff. These guys do look good together, though. Really, really like these guys. Obviously, for a Dokkan Metal collection, they are great. It is kind of funny to see, though, that Gogeta is actually a little bit bigger in terms of, like, his mass of his body than Trunks is, which is a little bit weird. Goku Black and God Goku are the biggest figures in the set, so I suppose that isn't surprising. But let's go ahead and grab another Trunks figure. Funny enough, I'm actually planning on getting rid of this guy soon because, like, I like him, but just kind of done with having him in the collection. This is, of course, the Dragon Ball Heroes Super Saiyan Trunks. Funny enough, this is a great example of a figure that has the bent scabbard. Look at how disgusting that is. It was a lot worse before, but I, like, literally held it like this for a long time. It's gotten better over time, for sure. Another bent piece here, though, is the sword. Like, look at how awful that is. It's hard to kind of capture it. There you go. It looks like a limp noodle, which is very unfortunate to see. But these guys do look pretty cool together. You could obviously get some good poses out of these guys because their poses are so dynamic, which is another thing I really, really like about this Trunks figure. You can get some really good stuff with these guys. Interesting to see, too, that obviously the hair on the Dokkan Trunks here is, of course, Rage Trunks' hair, while the hair on the Heroes one is, of course, Super Saiyan Trunks. It's interesting to see, though, the difference in hair color they chose. Like, holy cow, that looks, I don't even know what color yellow to describe. It almost looks like American cheese for the Heroes one. I don't know. Very interesting if I do say so myself. But yeah, I really, really like the Dokkan Battle Trunks. I think more than this one for sure. Oh, and finally, we have come to the part that I'm sure all of you have been waiting for. It's time to grab our Dokkan Battle boys. This one's going to be a little bit harder to do to fit them all in frame. It's going to be ridiculous when we get all 5 of them in frame here. There is the Goku Black. Let me not fall over. Let me grab Super Saiyan God Goku here and let me chuck him into the frame as well. Can I move Trunks over without him falling? His sword is so big I could, like, barely fit him in the actual, like, frame here. Let me move Goku back a little bit. There you go. That's a little bit of a better, little better me Marino here. Literally cannot fit Trunks into the frame, but there you go. There's the 3 boys so far. I think that they are all really, really great figures. Lots of fun figures in this set. Again, these guys all look really, really cool together. I like, again, that the sculpt work is pretty similar, and I think the effect pieces as well on all of them really show that they're all from the same line because they're all very similar, but all still different enough to kind of fit what they are going for on their own figure. All right. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I can still recommend this Trunks figure besides the problem with the foot base, even though that is a really dumb solution to holding this figure up. Obviously, the production images, you kind of can't really tell that that's there because, of course, you know, they just erase it in post and make it look like it's floating. So there was no way to know that that was going to be the actual final product. But even still with that, I think I can still recommend the figure wholeheartedly. For 36 bucks as well, I don't think you can beat the price, especially since there aren't that many Spirit Sword Trunks figures. Again, really the only thing is the stand and the eyes. Other than that, I really, really like this figure, and funny enough, even though I said I didn't like the hair as much, how it was matted down, the color doesn't really bother me as much. Looking at it more and more, I've grown to kind of like it. When I critique a figure in the beginning of a video, slowly but surely, I always kind of feel like I end up liking a little bit more. Like, I have a little bit of a less problem with some of the problems that I talk about in these videos. But definitely a figure that I can recommend. Maybe I'll see if I can't do a video talking about some fixes for the stand that you could potentially do. Sticky tack would be an easy one though, sticky tacking it to the ground with the bottom of the stand and then sticky tacking it to his leg. Easy solution right there for this figure 100%. If you would like to pick him up, of course, I will leave some links in the description below. If he is on Amazon and you pick him up from there as well, I get a small cut with no extra cost to you, which greatly appreciated from your boy. And if you would like to give some further support to support my figure unboxings, my reviews, all that kind of stuff to bring you more great content like this, you can hit me up on the Patreon, which I greatly appreciate. Please don't feel obligated. But without any moolah, I think that's what I meant to say. Thank you, Brain. You can always hit that like and subscribe button, which of course is the reason why I want you here. I want you to watch the videos, bro. I want people to enjoy these videos because I love making them, and I always love seeing that people enjoy the stuff that I put out. It always puts a smile on my face. That did not intend to be an Avengers quote, but thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Dokkan Assets out.